Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you a very poorly structured and designed spreadsheet. This spreadsheet was posted on Upwork recently and I thought I'd take a look at it, fix it up and at a very high level and shoot a video about it because this is very common that users, those who do not have enough expertise with Excel, they struggle through every day with Excel spreadsheets that are just giving them a headache. So what this spreadsheet does is it's supposed to select some sort of provider, or it's supposed to highlight them if they meet certain criteria. As you can see, there is criteria 1, 2, 3, and all criteria. So one of the criteria is, I have no idea what this is, probably like insurance, and then requested service. So you can select, they've got these drop downs, which is pretty neat, pretty cool. You can select the age of client and then the location. Obviously, I changed the locations as well. And I don't know what that is. So there's quite a few things that are broken on this spreadsheet, like these complex formulas that they tried. They're just not working, and then this is the final table over here where they're supposed to, or the table is supposed to show them which providers met the criteria. So I quickly jump over to actually, before I do that, so these are the list of providers. Obviously, the names are fake names. I'm very conscious of keeping everybody's privacy, and so they used conditional formatting to highlight which providers meet the criteria. So that's already a little bit challenging to use because you're better off rearranging the providers so that you don't have to scroll through. I mean, they only have 70 odd providers, so it's not a long list. But if it was an extensive list, then imagine using these colors. Using colors in general is not the best thing to do in Excel. Because it's much more difficult to work with colors. So they have another spreadsheet for insurance, and they've got the various, I don't know, I'm not US based, so I don't know what these are, but maybe these are like insurance companies or insurance products. And then, so they've got another list of providers. As you can see, it's being duplicated. And then for each of those providers, they have a true or false flag, and then they have the provider ID, which is cool. You do need an ID. And then they have another spreadsheet, very same structure, but in this one, actually, they do have the provider ID in here as well. If I unhide this, the columns, then we should be able to see unhide. We should be able to see a provider ID. Yeah, perfect. Now, as you can see, many of the providers don't have an ID. That's because the spreadsheet is broken, and that's why they wanted somebody, an analyst, to take a look at it. And then they have the same for the age and the location and the availability. So as you can see, they've got the list of providers listed in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets. So that's pretty high maintenance. So what I did is I actually, oh yes, and the reason why it's high maintenance is because imagine if they misspell on one of the sheets, one of the providers, then immediately, something is gonna break. So I didn't spend much time fixing this spreadsheet up, but just for the sake of this video, I recorded the steps that I took. So first of all, the qualifier formula was high maintenance, so I changed it to use index function. So this is the qualifier formula in here. These ones, to be honest, I'm an expert with Excel, but this is complex, and yes, it's high maintenance, not ideal. That was the first step, and then I created a provider tab. And so that's basically the central place for the providers. So over here you can see I've got the provider tab, and then you start with an ID. Now it's very important that you work with IDs instead of names, because it's very easy to misspell names, and then your spreadsheet and your data is going to be incorrect. So that's my central point. and then I created additional tabs, pretty much following exactly the same structure as they did. But the difference is that you can see that the provider names are being looked up from the provider tab. So you basically just use a drop down to select the ID, the provider ID, and then you populate these manually. But you eliminate, by doing it this way, you eliminate the risk of misspelling providers. So I did the same for the service, the age, and the availability, and then also the location. And then I created a tags sheet, and this is where basically this is the brain of the whole spreadsheet is. So whatever they select in the finder, so this is like the user interface. Like I said, I didn't beautify it, so this is as raw as it gets. So the user would select whoever they want to look for, and then in the tags section, we have these formulas that are flagging each of the providers, whether they meet the criteria. And then we have these checkboxes as well for their availability on the given days. And then we have a ranking column, which ranks each of the providers based on how many criteria they meet. And then we also have a dummy column, but yeah, that's really just a dummy column, so that this pivot table that we have on the Finder tab is a little bit neater. You know, that column can easily be hidden because it's not relevant, or you can just keep it there so that you can see that whatever I selected, or for this demonstration, we can see that only one provider met 4 criteria, so they met all 4 criteria, while 8 providers met 3 criteria. And then you can see each of the days, you can see when they're available. So this is as easy as it gets. And if you want to change one of the criteria, all you need to do is right click and click refresh, and immediately you can see that we don't have anybody who meets 3 or 4 criteria, but we do have 19 providers meeting 2 criteria. So this is what I would recommend to somebody with a similar spreadsheet. Make sure that you have a central point for a source of truth. That's very, very important, so that you don't have the same information stored in multiple places. And you can also do that across multiple spreadsheets. That way you will save significant amount of time on maintenance, and also your spreadsheets are going to work much better. So hopefully you find this useful. If you want some help with your spreadsheets, please do reach out to me. This is my Upwork link, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.